Hey guys, Crickcaster here, back with the update for PSO2 NGS. Sorry that this one is a little bit late, but Mother Nature just decided to roll through our area and knock out our power for about 24 hours, so couldn't do much during that time. But finally we're here, so let's get into this one. So this week is the final week for the 11th anniversary event, which means the final opportunity to get some seasonal points as well as those 11th anniversary scratch tickets. So make sure to do all that if you want some of those items. But for the new stuff this week, first off, we have the LTQ, Nazun's Big Quiz Part 2. So this is basically just like the Part 1 from the beginning of the month, where it's answering 6 questions, and the more you answer correctly, the more seasonal points you get at the end of the quest. But the questions this time are a little bit changed, and the enemy encounters are a little bit changed in between. So the first 2 questions are yes or no questions again, but there's a little bit new questions into the pool. The third one is completely different, with meeting the 5 quintuplets from Kavaris, and you gotta answer which one entered the lodge at certain positions, so either first, fourth, whatever. Basically, you talk to them, and they give you information on who came before them. So sometimes it's really easy, especially if it's like the first position, you just talk to the person who didn't have anybody come before them. It's that easy. But other times, it's like the 4th position can be a little bit more difficult because you gotta talk to more and line it all up. But sometimes you can just watch other people and just jump on a spot and you're good to go. For the 4th question and 5th one, this is just multiple choice, so pretty similar to the yes or no, just more options. And then the final 6th question, this is determining where a Ryuker device is located at based off an image. Then during this quiz, you'll be facing a few enemies, 2 Ngokus in the middle at the same time, but it isn't actually too bad. And then a Aeonic Herzig at the end, just like before. Once you kill that, you can get a number of different rewards, guaranteed and not. So like I said, with the seasonal points, it's based off your rank or how many questions you answer correctly, but you can actually get up to 45,000. It says 30,000 here. There's actually a boost event going on for this quiz, which gives 50% extra, so it actually goes up to 45,000 instead. And then for the others, there's some photon chunks you can get, also based off your rank. So if you get too low of a rank, you get like none. It goes like 1, 2, 3, up to S rank. And then like also on this ARKS Visiphone page, it shows these questions. So if you need help with that, you can go to this page. I'll probably link it down below. But for the rewards, there's like Defi capsules, the stat 4s to Sa can technically drop in here, but just don't count on it at all. Reval Coat can sometimes drop in here. The Gold Prim Sword 2s and the Armor 2s, so that can be good for enhancement fodder. Some Arms Refiners and Refiner 2s, and then sometimes 11th Special Scratch tickets. I noticed for each of the runs, you get quite a few of these Defi capsules, and it seems like even the more rare ones, like the Plutos and Makamis, just drop like a lot, because you get 5 or 6 at a time with this quest. So basically, you can make a Phase 2 set pretty easily if you run this, if you haven't already. Honestly, with this quest, it's basically like the first quiz, where some of you will like this and some of you won't, based on if you like the quest type or not. But if you're a rewards kind of person focused on that, I wouldn't really count on getting these other items just like before. Like sometimes you can get the scratch tickets and arms refiners, but definitely not the Tasa series like ever, unless you're insanely lucky. But the reason why I would do this quest is if you're trying to do last minute seasonal point farming, or just do it once a day for the guaranteed daily ticket from that task. But who knows, maybe you'll get lucky with some more of the drops, because there is, as part of that boost with the seasonal points, a rare drop rate plus 100% boost for this quest only up until August 1st. But moving on to the rest of the update, there is another ARKS Records for Field Race Northwood Temboard solo, so just do that to get some more ARKS Record badges. But speaking of ARKS Records, they are making a change in the future for these things. So in an update coming in early August, I imagine like the 2nd or maybe the 9th, they're going to change the ARKS Records for like the fighting ones to increase the damage dealt while using weapons equipable by the player's main class. So this is trying to deter like other people from subclassing and using the subclass weapons as a main weapon, like say using Braver or maybe Slayer, something like that, and trying to trump other classes like leaderboards essentially. So it's trying to encourage people that like play like Tector or Force to use Wand or Rod, etc., to go through the leaderboards instead of being like discouraged from other people coming in and trying to take over. But we'll just have to see how big of a boost this actually is and if it'll make the difference. And then, of course, it won't apply to field races since you aren't really doing combat in those, just running around getting a higher score and reaching the end. But for the next thing, there is Stellar Graces. Finally, after like 9 months or a year or something like that, a very long time. But with these, you go across the exploration zones, you get up to 30 per every other day during this week. You get up to 450 star gems if you grab all 90. For those of you who don't know how this works, since it's been so long, so there's quite a few new players since then, they do have a page on the website where it shows the periods for these. So the first day was a trial period to get these Stellar Graces, 30 of them, and then the following day is a boost period for everybody based on how many Stellar Graces got grabbed on your ship. So essentially you grab these during the trial period, the 30 where each of them you'll receive 5 star gems, so that's pretty nice, and some other items like materials and special scratch tickets to get a personal boost on top of that as well. So you just need to grab 10, which gives you a 10% boost, but you definitely want to grab the extra 20 on top of that. And then the following day, yours and everybody else's on that ship can get a all boost up to 20% RDR, as well as a 20% seasonal point boost for the following day. So this kind of happens interchangeably every other day, 3 times this week. Back in game here, we have 2 new AC scratch tickets, Remix Line and Rewind Collection July 23. With the Rewind Collection, this is just several scratches from last year around the July period smashed into one. So this is nothing new in this prize list, but if you missed out on any of these items from last year, you can go get them. But with this, if you're trying to AC scratch for it yourself, you may find difficulty getting specific items since there is so much. But in the personal shop, it's probably cheaper since this isn't the first iteration that these items have been in the game. But of course, the more popular ones are probably still going to be quite expensive. For the Remix line, this is technically new stuff, but it's different variations of older outfits. So like a /B, /C, V2, whatever have you, they just act differently than their original counterparts. So like this Rappy mech, for instance, has parts that will sync with the innerwear color, where the original one didn't before. And then like more stuff like that, and then the V2 is just a shoeless version and also may do the innerwear color thing. Just a whole bunch of stuff like that for all of these outfits. But there's also accessories in here that are the same as before, like shoes and the boots and stuff. But that's the main focus of this as well, is a whole bunch of shoes to put on your characters, maybe for these V2 or V3 or whatever versions. The scratch count bonuses of these two, they differ from each other quite a bit. With the Rewind Collection, it has motion changes from previous scratch count bonuses. This one has the Glide Umbrella, and then Dash Snow Dust, Long Stride, and Charge. But it also has a Mastery 4S. So that's a guaranteed Mastery 4 on one of your pieces of gear, so that's pretty nice. With the Remix line, it has accessories to look at, so a side cape, shark head, Lolita Pumps Black, pom-pom ornament, as well as a emote Rappies. So you can get all those. There's also a Halfinale S in here, so that's even better than the Mastery there. A 4% potency capsule guaranteed on one of your pieces. For the Halfinale S and the Mastery 4S, I would actually wait to use those until we get the gear from next week with the August update, because we're getting a more guaranteed source of 9-star weapons, and as well as the Octo Armor, the first 8-star armor. So definitely want to put it on those instead of whatever we have now if you're going to upgrade. That's it for these two, but while we're here, down below there are the 2 free scratches to worry about, the 11th Anniversary Memories and the PSO2 11th Special Scratch. So this is the final week to get tickets for both of those scratches, and then basically just farm it out as much as you can with this one, and this you can get 2 a day still, so just keep that in mind. But for both of them, you don't have to worry about spending too fast, because you still have until August 8th to do so. Make sure to spend as much as you can before it runs out, as well as using your select tickets on this scratch at the very end. Other things leaving this week at the item trader, there's the ARKS record badge exchange with the top 3 camos, the Cinquem, Tenebris, and Trunkle Almaty CVs. So if you want any of those, make sure to spend your ARKS record badges on them, because they will be replaced next week with some other camos. Also in here, there's the special edition exchange, which has those build parts from about a month ago that you could grab with those Creative Space special edition tickets. So if you still have them for whatever reason, make sure to spend them before this week ends. Also, basically the end of this week, there is PSO2 day as always, but this kind of falls like right before maintenance, so at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is like 2 hours before maintenance. But don't worry about it being like shortened because of that, because they will extend it because of maintenance to 48 hours. So it will last until the 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that gives us a head start in the new update in August. So the Lucille Exploration. Definitely want to take advantage of the buffs then, which are available for everybody. The last thing that I have for this week, it doesn't necessarily pertain to the game itself, but for the official YouTube channel for Phantasy Star. They had their last episode for the NGS Headline Plus. So with this, it's the end of this podcast, but it doesn't signal the end of New Genesis itself or the original headline, so just keep that in mind. The reason why that this is ending is because GWiz is going bye-bye, as it says in the title. But they're not leaving SEGA, they're actually just moving to a new position from community manager to something else within SEGA itself. So congrats to her, and I wish her the best of luck towards the future. But they did mention in this episode as well, in this 3-hour-long one, that they will be having a new podcast or a new stream like this sometime in the future on the official channel with Danger and maybe some other people. So let's look forward to that as well. But they had a keyword in this one. Thanks for everything. So if you type that in game, you'll get 2 Rappy Shaped Fritters, 50 Star Gems, and an exclusive weapon camo, which I believe is a bow one. But this can be used until August 9th, 12 a.m. Pacific. But yeah, that's everything that I have for you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.